Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Zombies Love Bacon podcast, episode 3 of season 2. Yet to be dragged away from the man in the black van looking for Vince after the comments from that first episode. I think we're safe. I think we've gotten away with what we said, so that's good. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll have to go back and listen to that first episode. We are joined again today by Vince. Hello, Vince.
Hello. I paid ASIO off. That's why I'm still here, and we're still here.
Excellent. Just like calling Lester in GTA, right?
Yep.
Yes. Shelby is also here today.
Hello, I never leave.
That's kind of true. No, we touched grass this week.
Oh, we did. Yeah, we went outside. It's cool.
Yeah. And we have a guest. Tech Jess is here. Hello, Tech Jess.
Huh? What am I doing here? Where did I come from?
We kidnapped you.
We kind of
Help me, I'm stuck in his basement.
She's kind of rocked up into the general like voice chat of this Discord, and we just kind of were like, okay, here you go, come with us, you know.
That's it.
So,
yeah.
That was your mistake.
So now I'm here.
You're here. Now you're on the list with the rest of us.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. They were paid off. I forgot.
Did you check that list twice, bro?
Yeah, mate, I don't know what the list is. I'm sure we're on it still for some reason. Anyway, how's everyone going? How was your week? Anyone get up to anything interesting?
I went for yet another internal promotion interview at work, which, by the way, I am excellent. So, you know, look at me moving up in the world, everybody.
In before we have sad story about not getting the promotion next week.
Don't jinx me, all right?
Hey, I remember
really
we had this
good-
whole conversation about how great this workplace was. Not this one, but the last workplace was on the podcast. And then 2 weeks later, we talked at length about how shit it was.
What, you mean the last one I applied for? The last like, internal promotion?
No. Way back.
The last job.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I told everyone I started it, and then like a week later I quit. It was terrible.
Yeah.
I remember that.
What?
This is different.
Yeah, exactly.
This is different. I'm not scamming the elderly this time. This time I'm scamming the construction industry. It's different.
Totally different.
Yeah, totally.
Scamming
I hope
richer
nobody from
people.
work listens to this podcast because I might lose my promotion.
She loves it there. Promote her. Pay her lots so I don't have to work. Please.
If you know me, no, you don't.
Please. For other than that, it's been a fairly busy week. I managed to score us invites to the Melbourne premiere for the movie Morbius.
Me too? Or just you two?
No, we went already, so we went there. Look, if
tons of free drinks. It was like tables of lines of like, free cocktails.
People, the thing is, right? Okay, Shelby's just blurting out stuff here. And there's no context whatsoever. She's just like, there was free drinks and cocktails. It's like,
I'm excited about booze. I'm sorry, I'm drinking wine right now.
It's always like the preview screening, right? And it's it's where all the press shows up. So they want to do the reviews, right? So they make sure that they like butter you up good before you even get into the movie. And we were greeted with enjoy your cocktails and just like a sea of green cocktails. Drink as many as you like before you even get into the movie. They just get you plastered so that you have a good time no matter what.
And free choc tops. Who doesn't like a choc top?
Yeah. For those wondering, the Morbius movie wasn't bad actually. Quite enjoyed it.
I don't think it deserves the bad rap that it's getting.
Yeah, it was quite good. That movie. And I did a little review thing that's up on my YouTube as well. But that movie was meant to come out in like March of 2020. It was April, I think. Sorry, it was April 2020. A little bit problematic for coming out at that particular time. If you know your timelines well, that would have been peak pandemonium of this thing called COVID coming.
What's that?
Well, the movie's about splicing bat DNA with human DNA. So probably would have been a bad time to bring that out at the start of COVID.
Yeah, but what about the conspiracy theorists now? Would they not think like, oh, this is sus?
I mean, he did it in a lab, so...
In Wuhan?
No.
Oh, no.
Actually, the bats came from Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Okay?
Wow, that's a fancy COVID. Costa COVID.
Fancy COVID flavor. Good
Morbius
job.
and the fancy COVID. That's the...
Wow.
That was the original tagline. So they changed it for some reason. I don't know why.
No, I wonder why.
But yeah, it's clear that the movie itself is pretty good. I don't know how good it was back then, but they clearly have cut it and changed things because there was about half of what's in the trailers not in the actual movie, which that happens. That's fine. And they also recut stuff that was clearly in the middle of the movie and put it at the very end. Like like post-credit scene stuff and sort of spoilery stuff. So I won't mention what it is here, but I'm sure anyone who has Google really wants to know will find out pretty quickly. But yeah, it was good. But I really enjoy going to these events and being part of that sort of that crowd. It's good fun. Free drinks are always good, but
I just love free stuff.
I just like seeing stuff first and being around like other people that like really like it.
You know what? If you like movies and free stuff, I have a free movie you should watch.
Okay.
It's the absolute worst movie in the world, and if I ever see this director or that main actor, whoever he is, bro, I will fucking curb stomp the shit out of him. Okay. It's about a virus, but the virus isn't COVID, so they're like saying, they're basing off the world. No, it's not fancy COVID. It's like fucking. Oh, bro, I hate this movie. I don't even want to talk about it. Actually, I changed my mind.
Hang on. Was it made before COVID or after COVID?
No, it was made in COVID, like during COVID. But it's some fucking little dweeb. Okay, like I'm religious. All right, I believe in Christianity. Like I believe in Jesus and that. Okay. But this guy, the virus is that they've taken away Christianity, and the guy is on a mission to find the vaccine or some shit, which is to bring Christianity back. So he goes to find all these people who are like,
the virus
and he kidnaps them and shit. Yeah, it's some fucking weird shit. I'll link it to you. But
where'd you even find it?
I was on YouTube, bro. I was like watching.
You just went down a rabbit hole and then you're there.
Yeah, and then this came out and I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. Like I watched the trailer and I was like, this is fucking disgusting. I need to watch this movie just to see how shit it is. And it is though, it's like some fucking 6-year-old kid produced it, bro. The music is too loud. You can't hear him talking. The camera angles are ass. The guy's like 28 and his missus is like 16.
Did you try to find him so you could curb stomp him?
I did, bro. His missus is 16 and he's like 28. I'm telling you.
Gotta be on that list a little bit higher
Back on the list.
He's on the list, not me, bro. I'm fucking ready to drop him. I'm going to get you this link. Hold on. I got so angry watching it, bro. You don't understand how pissed off I was.
You guys ever watch a movie that's so bad you just get angry and want to curb stop the director? Because I can't say it's happened to me.
One.
The first Suicide Squad movie. I got really angry during that.
I've actually never watched that, and I'm glad I didn't.
Soundtrack's not bad. That's about it, though. I just remember getting fuming because I was like, I can do better.
Getting fuming.
So I can do better.
Let me go. Let me fix this fucking movie. I was so angry.
Let me fix this shit.
You know, this is 100% legit. No sarcasm whatsoever. But if you completely ignore that movie, just delete it from your mind, and you watch The Suicide Squad, the James Gunn version, great movie, right? Great movie. If you then go and watch Peacemaker, the TV series spin-off from the movie, also done by James Gunn, fucking mint. Like, that is some top fucking TV. It's so good, and it's so original. And even James Gunn came out and said, that was so much fun. I'm just going to do TV from now on. That's basically what he said. And I'm like, yes, please. Because that was like, it was like watching a 6-hour movie that just kept on going with just fucking great laughs. And it made me love John Cena. Like, I understand the love for John Cena now.
I love John Cena, bro.
He's just fucking nails it.
Binge watched it over, I think, 2 or 3 days.
Like 2 days.
Yeah.
It's like 8 episodes in 2 days or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like hour-long episodes. It was good. Like, it's really good. I couldn't recommend that show more. It's a bit James Gunn style in the sense that they have some really crude and sudden humor, but it makes you just laugh out loud. But John Cena plays it all fantastic. When they announced it, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, his character in the movies, like, is good, but it's not great. I don't understand how he gets his own show. And then people were like, started saying it gets better. And then once it finished, people were like, wow, that was fucking great. And it's good all the way through. Really good. The other thing I wanted to mention, I didn't get to go to the premiere. I tried really hard, but we had to buy our tickets. That's fine. But we went and saw the Sonic movie, the new Sonic movie, Sonic 2.
I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, it was interesting. It's definitely made for children, let's be honest. There wasn't a single child in the cinema, though.
There were some men sitting behind us that were acting like children. They were living out their best childish dreams.
Yeah, well, hang on. Let me get to that. Right?
Because so is it actually made for children, or is there like adult jokes in it?
It's written in that style. You know where people are like, oh, if you're writing a comedy, you need to hit this many beats a minute, whatever. They are like double down to the point where there's like a joke every minute to 2 minutes, and some of it's cringy. Like some of it's fart humor, you know? But other times it's like
some of it's
very clever. Some of it's very clever, but they also do a really good job of tying in a lot of elements from the old Sega Mega Drive games and stuff like that. To the point where like I was cringing like halfway through. There's a whole thing around like a wedding and stuff like that. You're like, oh, they're going to put a wedding in the middle of this movie. There's no way they're going to not fuck this up. And that whole thing plays out in such a cringy way that I'm like, I wanted to die. But at the same time, it was entertaining. Like it wasn't that I wasn't bored. I was still well and truly into it. It's just some of the jokes. There's just so many jokes. Like they do not stop jokes. They will they're literally they're like, put your hands up. And then he like puts his hands up. He's like, put them up higher. He's like, now do a jazz number. And then he does like jazz hands. I'm like, why? Why is that in there?
It's made for kids, bro. Don't forget.
Well, it's also, I mean, if you ever played like Sonic games, the writings and the story aren't that spectacular anyway. Jim Carrey's fucking amazing in it. He's an absolute lunatic. I'm pretty sure they didn't even give him a script. They just said, make it up. Just do whatever. Because he just talks absolute fucking nonsense the entire movie and it works. Really good. The third act is like a Sonic fanboy's wet dream. And when I say wet dream, as Shelby mentioned, the grown-ass man-childs behind us were like cheering and applauding as it was playing out. They were so fucking thrilled with the way that went out, which is always good. It's a good atmosphere when everyone's having fun. Having said that, there is a post-credit scene, same as like there was in the first movie.
There's two post-credit scenes.
Yeah, well, yeah, but there's the one that sort of reveals what's going to be coming next, so to speak. I'm pretty sure the people behind us leaped out of the air and came in their pants at the same time. They were so happy.
Oh no!
It was
that would have been
amazing. I'm a semi-Sonic fanboy, and I was like, oh man, if they give me like Metal Sonic or something for the next one, that'd be so sick. It's not Metal Sonic, but it's something better. And that made me very happy as well. But I didn't jump into the air; I just came in my pants. So.
I think it's a good movie, and there's like a lot of good callbacks to like Mega Drive specific jokes. And like,
I don't want to talk too much about it. It's been out for 2 days, so
yeah, of course.
Yeah, but lots of nostalgia.
It's definitely good. I think everyone will find something they like about it.
Yeah. So they've already confirmed a third movie, and they're doing a live action TV show. So I'm not sure how that's all going to play out, but it was good. They have Idris Elba plays Knuckles, and
he's just confused. It's fantastic.
He plays like. He's like a badass for the first half of the film. And then in the second half of the film, he has these just great one-liners that just tickle me so well. It was really good. It was really fun. It was a big contrast from going from watching Morbius one day and watching Sonic the next day. They were very different hemispheres of movies. But yeah, it was wild.
I do want to cycle back here as well. If anyone was curious about the religion virus movie that Vince is talking about, it is called 2025. The
world enslaved by a virus.
Yes,
that's the one. Yeah.
So if you're interested, look it up.
Can you just tell me how it ends?
There's a trailer.
It's a fucking. So it ends the way it starts.
What does that mean?
With Jesus.
No. So it starts with him on the run from the cops, and then he
Jesus
gets like shot or arrested. No, this fucking sus pedophile director guy.
Wait, is the director the main character?
Yeah, he's the main character and the director, bro. That's how you know the guy's got ego issues.
Exactly.
But it starts with him on the run from the cops, and the movie ends with him on the exact same scene. So it just it's like Inception. So the start of the movie becomes the end again, and you just have to watch it again.
Ruin Inception?
No.
Shelby hasn't seen Inception yet.
I've never watched
Okay, I think this is going to ruin Shelby's life if she watches that.
We should watch Inception instead.
It can't get any worse, so let's watch it.
I reckon you should watch this.
Speaking of movies that Shelby hasn't watched, and I still want to get Shelby to watch, I want to watch
Zohan?
Memento. Because
I've definitely watched Zohan like 6 times, by the way.
That's my favorite movie of all
You've
time.
watched Zohan, but you haven't watched...
I like Zohan, okay?
Zohan's my favorite movie.
Fucking awesome. It's great.
Why is it your favorite movie, Vince?
Because the guy Adam Sandler in it looks like my dad back in the days. And it's all Arab humor. Like, it's just it's shit. It's like watching a movie of my family.
I was watching an interview with Sasha Baron Cohen, and he was actually with Sasha, not playing a character, and they were talking about when he was doing The Dictator, how much hate he got from all the nations that he was pretending to be a part of, right? And then he heard that, I haven't even seen The Dictator. I've only seen bits and pieces of it, but I forget which country he's meant to be from. But then they were upset, and they were coming to America to visit someone and like complain about it and whatever. And he heard they were coming, so then he, as his character, as the dictator, pretended to turn up and held a press conference, and they thought it was him again, just being the same. It's like, how much hate do you get? Like, I don't know if you're comfortable. Like, Adam Sandler shouldn't be doing Arab humor. That's where I'm going. It's kind of weird. It's Adam Sandler.
They'll cancel him now in 2020.
Yeah, but he does it so well. It's just he does it so well.
Yeah, it's fucking spot on.
It's like
so
legitimately
good.
funny.
It's so good.
Yes, back me up. Have you seen this movie?
I feel like I'm gonna get canceled.
Have not.
You have not?
Confirmed.
All right.
Have not.
You have to watch Zohan, then you have to tell me if it's offensive or funny. That's what.
Look,
Okay,
I'm Arab.
I can tell you that.
I can tell you if I'm offended or not as an Arab, and I promise you, it is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Does like all your cousins and stuff agree? They all love it?
Everyone loves it, bro. I watch that movie 5 times a year.
Does that make? Would you go
rented
and
it on
dub
Foxtel
Adam
to watch
Sandler
it.
as like a what do they call it? Honorary Arab? Would you give him an honorary?
Bro, I'll let
title?
him be my dad for like after that fucking stellar performance in that movie.
Adam Sandler's your dad now. Adam Sandler, if you're out there, you got a new son.
Yeah, man, that's me. Yeah, give
Adam
me all your money,
Sandler's like
brother.
the smartest person in the world. He just figured out how to make cheap nonsense comedy movies that make profit, and then convinced Netflix.
Step
to pay
one:
him.
keep Drew Barrymore on a retainer.
Well, no, but then he tricked frickin' Netflix into letting him make shit movies just so he could fly all his mates around to tropical islands the entire time. He's a fucking genius. Nothing he's made lately is any good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember the last Adam Sandler movie that I watched that was good. Maybe The Longest Yard. That was pretty good.
Click was good. I liked Click. I think
got dark at the end.
Exactly why I think it was good. I think it needed like the break from the humor. I think it was good.
Yeah, but it's 2 hours of humor and then 15 minutes of the darkest shit ever.
Lures you into a false sense of security and then reminds you how terrible the world is. It's good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Speaking of The Longest Yard, there's a great segue here because it's a series of events led me down a very deep rabbit hole, which basically came out to, did you know that people on Google review prisons? Like actual prisons.
Really?
Yes.
Like the prisoners might be in their cell with their butt phones. And like,
well, I don't know. Let me read you a couple and let me see. This one says, my dad got taken here for, I don't know what that is. It says, you know what? It says pay da fria, and then after it says, I don't know what this is, so he doesn't even know. Anyway, it says my dad got taken here, and he hasn't come out for like 15 years, so it must be nice. I don't know.
Must be pretty cozy.
Must be pretty cozy.
I got a little lonely in bed, so sometimes my roommates came in and gave me company. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Interesting.
I can't find any reviews on Park Lee or Silverwater.
Yeah, no.
Oh, here we go. Cessnock Correctional Centre. There's actually reviews for Cessnock.
I didn't want to say which prisons, but that's fine.
I'll say them, bro. My cell was great, although different to the Breachers. Room service was non-existent. Some of the other holiday makers were a bit... I can't say that word.
I like this one here. I would kill to go here.
Oh, no.
Oh man, safe and secure, loving environment, hot and cold running cockroaches and buffet style eatery.
I have one for a women's prison. It says the amenities do include a swimming pool, tennis court, soccer field, and an outdoor recreational area. Not too bad. 3 out of 5 stars.
This guy 5 stars. I would rob a bank to get back here, but I will take my own food because I don't like their food.
It's a gold mine, right?
Oh no.
Look, it's I could tell you a less funny story, but kind of a weird and depressing story about Google reviews if you want to hear it. But I will give you the opportunity to step out because we don't have to talk about it. It will shake your faith in humanity.
Oh man, I'm all for it.
All right. So
I'm all for it.
There was this
I
guy.
have a good. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Oh, well, it's only short. Don't worry. And then we can change the subject, please. There was this guy, and he was very obsessed with, let's say, me. He was a bit of a stalker.
Is this the guy that had the website with the pictures?
No, that's a different stalker.
Is this the guy with the mannequin?
That's a topic for another day.
Okay.
But yes,
Okay.
same guy. Anyway, he left a Google review on the store that I was at, basically saying how handsome I was, and he would come back anytime to see me. But we didn't recognize the name, so we weren't sure if it was him or not. So we clicked the name. Turns out when you click the name, you can see all their reviews that they give. This man had been reviewing a lot of brothels. And
male brothels?
Well, the brothels things, that's fine. Like, I get it. You're paying for a service, and if you want to comment on your service, that's fine. That's your own business. Nothing to do with me anyway. It was when he was commenting on the massage parlors, saying that they wouldn't give him a little bit of extra. This man has his full name on Google with some very dark comments on some very seedy businesses. And I was just
Oh,
like,
no.
oh my God. And then I had to try and figure out how to get him off our business page because his name is there. And if anyone else clicked it, they got to see this perverted man as well. So it's actually very hard to get a review removed. Google, it turns out. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Anyway, creepy guy. I told him I died, and then hopefully I'll never see him again.
How did you tell him you died?
He said he hadn't seen me in a while, and to one of the staff members, and they asked what happened, and then I said if he ever asks again, tell him I got hit by a car. So they did.
Oh no.
Last time I spoke to him, he moved about 50 kilometers out west from there. He still travels all the way to my store and hopes to run into me. So,
Jesus.
Anyway, we'll talk about the man again another day.
I just want to go back from that to the prison thing.
Okay.
Because I found a good review. And I'm going to read it for you, okay? So, my stay was delightful, except for when it came to the showers, because I previously heard all about this dropping the soap business. I was incredibly curious on what happens when you do, but sadly nothing happened and everyone around me looked at me and said, hell nah. I was extremely confused on why, and I tried 2 more times with the exact same response. Very disappointing. Either way, the food was great, the beds were a bit rickety, but I reckon I can ignore that. 4 stars.
Yeah, right. I can just imagine it now. It's like, oh no, my soap. It's fallen over. Look at me.
No.
Bend over and pick up the
Somebody
soap.
put a review on our store saying that we sent them off to Samsung and Samsung didn't help. So I checked the reviews of the Samsung store that we sent them to, and somebody reviewed saying, I can't remember off the top of my head. It was like, I'm very disappointed in how unprofessional they are. The guy walked up to me and he's like, how you going, mate? How can I help you? And then the guy's like, oh, don't call me mate. I'm just here looking. And then the guy's like, oh, like the worker's like, oh, okay, my apologies, buddy. And he walked off. And then the guy gave him a 1-star review because he called him mate and buddy.
Yep. And then if you want to take that off, like you want to go, well, that's not really fair, is it? Google's like, it's not my problem.
Yeah, that's what they do. They're just like,
I fucking hate people.
Yeah. It's a real Karen move, isn't it?
Wow.
In general. But it's, we had a problem where people were just like reviewing just crazy shit. It's like made no sense whatsoever. They're like, I came down and saw Phil, and Phil told me this. I'm like, we don't have anyone with a name that starts with P's, first of all.
Don't have a Phil.
Not even close to Phil. But then, like, we figured out that they just had the wrong store. But they were just, like, there's nothing we can do about that. It was just
weird.
Yeah. But then, you know, we got people, you know, it's a problem. The problem was that then people would Google our store and we got 1 star because we had 800 fucking reviews from people that just got us completely confused with another store. And it's like, anyway, Google's great. Really intuitive system for one of the biggest companies in the world. Really, really great.
I hate Google.
Yeah. We're talking about how, like, we don't understand how Google hasn't made a social media. Like they did. They made Google Plus.
Google Plus.
They made Google Plus.
Initially, it was all like invite only for the beta testing.
Yeah,
I got invited, but it was like dead.
We did Google Plus pretty hard with ZombiesLvBacon. Like we had a proper page and stuff like that. We used to do Google Hangouts every Friday. Great. But there was nothing. Like it was so counterproductive and counterintuitive. It was just insane. Like everything was so hard. It's a lot like Facebook is at the moment. Facebook's used to be just like you just scroll through it and click like on things you like and comment on whatever you want. Now there's 400 different pages and settings, and it's a fucking nightmare. Like it's crazy. And then I was trying to remember what's the guy who made the Justice League? What's the director? He had the director's cut. Snyder. The Snyder social network. That is Zack Snyder's the only one that's of any note on it. It was all about being like very discoverable and no advertising. No one can ever remember the name. I know the name because I looked it up, but I'm sure you guys have no idea what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're
talking about.
Yeah, so it was called Vero. Called Vero. It was his own social media that he didn't run it, but he was like obviously paid big bucks to be the ambassador for it. And he's like, yeah, everybody's getting on it. The celebrities are on it. Look at me doing all these live shows and shit. And buddy, I'm going to post all the latest news here. And it's still a thing.
And you're like, yeah, that's nice, buddy.
Yeah, everyone's like, yeah, that's nice. Logs into Facebook. And everyone just goes, how shit Facebook is, but then log into it every day. And I I barely use Facebook. I think the only thing I do is I go to Facebook Marketplace and then I regret it every time I try to buy anything there.
Oh yeah,
It
is nasty.
Fucking
Do
joke.
not recommend.
Having
Do not
said that-
recommend.
Having said that, it reminds me of another story that I came across this week, which is just fucking hilarious, about renting houses. I don't know if anyone's seen this, but there's a guy on TikTok who does like shit rentals of Melbourne, and he does Sydney as well sometimes. And he just reviews the shittest rental posts that people can send in to him from Melbourne or Sydney. Usually in like a very monotone, don't give a shit voice. But some of the shit that he shows in these apartments and stuff are really shit. Like just like
It's like, oh my god.
like it's just missing a wall, you know.
Yep.
Things like that. Or you know, there was one where they're
Just a
like,
little.
this bathroom is freshly renovated, and then they have a picture of a bathroom covered in mold. You know, things like that.
Yeah,
But
just
anyway.
little things. Yeah.
I mentioned this to a friend of mine during the week, and then they're like, "Oh, I've never seen that before." You know, showed them one. They had one where the reference was, I think I put it in the Discord. The reference was the wall looks like it was a wall made in Age of Empires because it was like trying to go down a hill. It was on this weird sort of like totally uneven wall. And I thought that's funny. Yeah, well, this guy's pretty clever. Anyway, he topped with the best post I've ever seen this week. It was for a house in Fitzroy. When I say house, I meant room. And by room, I meant bathroom. So you can rent a bathroom in Fitzroy for $210 a week. And it is a bathroom.
Oh, is that the one that has a shower and a basin but no shitter?
They took out the toilet and put a bed in the bathroom so you can sleep in there. So no toilet. Just,
Oh my lord.
just
What?
a shower. This story, like your reaction is fine, right? That is the correct reaction to this. But this story gets fucking wild the more he digs into it.
Okay.
We'll chuck the actual link to the TikTok in the video if you want to watch it, because the way he explains it, it's fucking just crazy. Anyway, so it's $210 a week. It's a bathroom, so it's a bathroom in a house that you get to rent for $210 a week in Fitzroy. No toilet, just a sink, a bath, and a shower and a bed. That's it. Nowhere to put your clothes or anything like that. That's step one. Next thing, the guy who owns it is some kind of criminal. Apparently, he got busted for stealing $3.2 million of gold.
What a guy. Now we're talking.
And the way that
Gold bars? Coins?
well, he didn't really go on to explain it. The only thing that he explained was that the judge said that if the man was smarter, he would have got away with a lot more. So
He probably put it on social media. That's how he got done.
he did go to jail. I don't know if any of the reviews are his, but maybe one of them is. Went for jail for quite some time. But he does still operate out of the attic out of this house where you can rent this room. So apparently he just sort of turns up out of the blue, goes up into the attic for hours at a time. And this is where it
Is he
gets
the
weird.
hunchback of Notre Dame? Just
Well-
chills in the attic?
Sounds like it.
Then there's a Facebook group where people compare horror stories for living in this said house, because there's a lot of rooms that people rent out and they buy thinking it's cheap places in Melbourne or whatever else, in which the owner tries to get shut down on the regular. And in this group, they discuss how they discovered multiple hidden cameras throughout the building in which he does watch them all.
Oh.
So he might be in the attic watching them?
Oh no. No.
It's
You know, I'd be going, fuck no, fuck that, I'm out.
yeah, absolutely. And you know that the sort of people that would be renting this would be like international students or people that are like hard done by and you know just need a cheap place or whatever. This is too much. This is the dodgy shit that really makes me appreciate some of the places I lived that I thought were shit, but are actually fantastic in comparison to this sort of stuff. But yeah, shit rentals of Melbourne. If you look it up on TikTok, the guy does brilliant work. And
The hashtag is shit rentals of Melbourne.
Melbourne, sorry,
Melvin.
yeah.
That'll take you to his TikToks, and they're fantastic.
They're fantastic. And he's also pointed out that you can absolutely go and check the reviews of your real estate agents. You should do that before you go signing up to any apartment, which I've never thought of or done before. And I can tell you, no hate towards my real estate agent. They just phone it in, which is fine because I'm kind of a hands-off guy anyway. I don't really want them to do shit. Except I do ask them to do shit. They just don't do it. But also they don't do anything. So they're not causing any trouble. Where like I know that like my friend who's also renting, they get like a list of shit that they must do before every inspection, which is like clean out the drains, clean out all the tiles, make sure the grout joints are all clean, make sure that the kit oven is cleaned out, make sure the fucking air conditioner is clean, mow the lawn, weed the garden, all this shit. Like it's a list of demands, which is in no way in their contract or anything. Like they don't have to do that shit. All a rental inspection is to make sure that you've got 4 walls and a roof still. You know,
That's exactly right.
But instead, this friend of mine has to take 3 days off work to clean the house just because they're having a rental inspection.
Yeah, ours seem pretty relaxed compared to that.
I mean, they didn't even show up to ours.
Yeah, well, they claim to, but the cameras don't lie.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we totally came to your house. No one was there. And I'm like, there was definitely people there, but okay, that's fine.
Our intercom takes a picture of everybody who rings our doorbell.
Everybody.
No, there's nobody there.
Anybody ever rings the doorbell, it takes a photo of them. It's great. So
Fantastic.
whenever Australia Post is like, oh yeah, we tried to deliver it. So no, you didn't.
Want to try again, mate? Want to try again?
Just to plug that TikToker correctly, his name is Purple Pingers, because I really suggest people have a look at it.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Yeah,
so good. Yeah,
and it does make you lose faith in humanity and the rental market. And look, I don't want to set Vince off, but there was a comment made about renters this week. Does anyone else see this comment been spread around about?
If you
can't
if you
afford
don't
to
want
rent,
buy a house.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Don't even go there.
What?
Oh, my Lord.
Did you say you don't want to offend me?
I said I don't want to set you off.
I want to fuck a curb stomp ScoMo, bro.
Don't even go there.
Add ScoMo.
Oh, you should just go. You guys should just buy a house. Like, it only cost me 65 grand. Fuck off.
I've been thinking lately about my future.
Uh-oh.
And about where that's going, and how maybe I'd want to get a home with 2 or 3 bedrooms, so I could have a kid, and then if ilati was still in the picture, he could have his own room where I don't have to look at him. And
wow.
So I've been on realestate.com, and I look at houses and things like that are suitable, and it just fills me with this despair of I'm literally never going to be able to afford to buy a house.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but we live in the generation of there's no fucking way you can afford a house.
Oh,
unless you're born into wealth.
Unless you're born into wealth, or someone's going to spot you, someone's going to put up their house as collateral, like your parents. Unless you send your parents broke to get a house. Even I even looked at I've got a friend of mine who works in the same industry as me, in the same everything. They basically have the same job as me, and they're moving to bumfuck nowhere out near Perth somewhere to work. They're going to just work remotely, and I'm like, I wonder if you'd work even if I just went out and lived in the middle of nowhere. Could we afford a house? And the answer is probably not.
Well, I kind of look at the comparison though, because the price here for a 1-bedroom apartment in say back in my hometown, which is about an hour away, we could get a 3-bedroom house rather than a 1-bedroom apartment. But it's still expensive either way you try and slice the pie, because I've been also thinking what if we wanted to buy a small 1-bedroom apartment here, that's $300,000, but also there's less government assistance if you buy a single bedroom apartment than there is if you buy a 2-bedroom apartment. Did you know that?
I know
you're penalized.
You also get penalized if you're not married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it's really fucking weird.
But the thing is, right? All right, so let's hypothetical. And look, we don't. I don't like being a serious podcast, right? It's Friday afternoon for us, so we should be chilling. But if you want to get fucking into the weeds about this, right?
Here we go.
We are in a very secure apartment. Yes, we pay a premium for it, but also we're not going to end up on shit rentals of Melbourne, all right? So that's one thing. Now, if we go, all right, we're going to buy a home. We cannot afford a home in this area. Full stop. Let's go. So we go out to the burbs. Let's go out as far as we can until we can afford a house. It may be an hour away. It might be 2. We get that house. All right. Now we need a car because we live out in the burbs now. So that's a car plus car insurance plus fuel. We also live now not in a secure apartment, so we need to make sure we have proper insurance on the house as well. Then we have to pay rates. We also, it all adds up to the point where we can live in a rundown, dilapidated house 2 hours out of town, and it costs us the same amount of money as living in our premium apartment. Yes, we might have a little bit more room to grow and stuff, but it's fucked. There should be absolute incentives for people to be moving out and helping grow these communities that are further out of the city. Instead, there's no incentive to move away from the city, basically.
And this is where I think that the only incentive then really to move away that far is if you had kids and you needed more space.
Yes,
that's the only thing I can think of. But there's also the idea of having kids in the climate that is right now is kind of really difficult to imagine.
Yeah, but okay, let me throw this back at you. All right, where we live is a premium for families because we are in the zoning for some of the best public schools in Australia. This is the best place for a kid to grow up.
Yeah.
Only
Hashtag
because
ilati for Prime Minister.
But only because, right? This is where it becomes fucked, right? It's only because there's no incentive for the, I'm going to say, educated and well-off people to move out of the city and create well-structured and made out communities which have schools with all these. They basically push out the working class and the poor out of the city to where they can barely afford anything, and then they shove them all in a school to learn bad habits of each other. Like, there's no incentivized to share the wealth, so to speak, You're
pushed into low socioeconomic areas with bad schooling. And, I was a part of one of these bad schooling areas we were pushed out to.
So all right. So then the flip is, okay, well, then you have a tree change, right? You go in Victoria, somewhere like Bendigo or Ballarat or whatever. The same thing though. Like the benefits that you get from living in the city, you lose all that straight away. And then your jobs in country towns and stuff like that. I mean, yes, there's work from home stuff at the moment, providing you can get stable internet, which is another strain problem. Like, there's so much wrong with everything. And then our Prime Minister comes out and says, well, if you don't like renting, buy a house. Like, how can you be that fucking out of touch?
How is he still Prime Minister at this point?
Not for much longer.
He's a goof.
There's no way that man is still Prime Minister by the end of the year. There is no way. If he does that, then he's some kind of savant. Because
he's a
there's
wizard.
No way.
Or his wife is some kind of savant because he refers to her for everything good.
No, but he's told to do that from his PR company because everyone knows he's a fucking sexist dinosaur. So they're you have to talk about your wife more because women want to like you more. If you just talk about men stuff, no one's going to like you.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what we expected from a guy who literally escapes every natural disaster that we face by going to Hawaii.
I think next natural disaster, he sends the people of Australia to Hawaii and he stays here to fix it up by himself. I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You tell him.
All right, let's pack your bags, guys. We're going to Hawaii.
Hey, girls, I'm ready.
On ScoMo's credit card. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do this shit.
It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And it's sad because what you're going to find is this generation, when I say just generation, people that are aged from 25 to 35 right now, they're going to either have to rely on others to make shit happen, fluke it, and manage to, get some kind of win to the point where they can, they can afford a house because someone passed away and left it to them in a will or whatever else, or they're not going to get their shit together until they're 40. That's pretty much the way it's going to work.
That sounds like me.
I mean, that's because we're all the same generation. That's what we have to do now.
What do you mean? You're like 40 years older than me, bro.
Yeah, but
we're in the same struggle street, guys. It's not that much different.
Yeah, we're all in the same fucking struggle street. What I'm saying is it takes so much longer to get your shit together. We're back, my parents or their parents, for example, it was like, if you're not married by age 20, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Because...
Hard. I don't hear the end of it. But at your age, I had 2 kids. I had 3 houses. It's like in fucking 1990, houses were 50 grand.
I had a problem because my brother married his high school sweetheart shortly after they finished high school. And he's like the eldest brother. So that was kind of held as the standard. So I had the assumption ingrained in my brain that the person I was dating when I finished high school, I was going to marry. Obviously, that didn't work out. And the plans don't go that way, and realistically, that whole thing about marrying your high school sweetheart, moving into a house, having 2 to 3 kids it's in the past. You can't do that anymore.
No, you really can't.
You also can't have one parent really stay at home and take care of the kids in the average family.
Nope. No, not with the current economy at this stage, because both parents need to bloody work to get to be in a stable lifestyle.
Yep, working forever.
Yep. I mean, speaking from personal experience, the only way that I ever get anything more than, living, the bare minimum, is I have to hustle. It's the only thing. You have to start a podcast and stream and beg people for cinema tickets, stuff like that. It's the only way that you can have cool experiences.
Yep.
What if you steal them?
Well, I mean, I guess that's a thing too, but I'd rather, go there, steal the alcohol. Those cocktails are really good, and I'm going to talk about them forever because they were excellent. But I think, there's also, it's just frustrating. It's really frustrating. And I come from, a town where a lot of people are kind of expected to have that stay-at-home life. They're like, I'm going to get pregnant, at the age of 20, and I'm going to, stop working, and, my partner's going to take care of me. And, they're all miserable. In the people who stayed in those situations, or they have moved out of that situation and have had to go back to work.
Well, it's also it's a symptom of country towns and stuff like that, where
yeah,
or once they've finish school, once they're educated, once they get a job and an income, and you got a boyfriend and a house, that's it. Start pumping out children. Which
that's
job done. I missed that memo. Jess, did you miss that memo?
No, I got constantly reminded about everything.
But I'm not trying to pick on friends or anything like that. I've got a lot of friends that I grew up with, and they have great, beautiful families, and I'm very happy for them. But the reality is, when people turned 18, they either got the fuck out of town or they were getting kids. There's no in between. That's it. Anyone who stayed, they had either a kid or a house. So
that was it.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's like when I was 18 and I didn't know what the fuck to do with my life, I went and volunteered, and I volunteered for this youth organization where we mentor kids, and basically anyone who wants it is the deal, right? So you want to do something extra, you can volunteer, you can come, and everyone will work together to achieve these goals. Anyway, the goal that I got given, and it's all government funded, so it's a non-for-profit. You go for government grants, and that's how you can pay for anything, like renting a building or getting a computer or stuff like that. You have to beg for it. So I was one of the older ones there. There was a lot of kids there between the ages of 15, 16, 17, so on. And I was obviously 18 at that time. So I had a car, so I was one up on everyone. So they all thought I was cool. I enjoyed. To get the government grants, you have to go through the council. To go through the council, they need something from you. And most of the time, they want to see smiling kids shaking hands with the mayor. So I actually got to have meetings with the mayor almost on a weekly basis. And part of our objective and our goal was to give people of this town, particularly the youth, something else to do so they stay. Like create jobs for them, create, skate parks for them and concerts, bring live music to the town so they're not leaving to go, because so musicians had something to do in town. They didn't have to leave. They wanted to pursue all that sort of stuff. So we did like film festivals, music festivals, all that stuff was all done. Every time we did it, we'd go front page of the local paper, shaking hands with the mayor, and that's how we got shit done. And I did that for a whole year, and it turned out that there was just a few bad eggs within the business that really didn't want to see that play out, and it sort of disappeared. And then the mayor got voted out, and the new mayor didn't understand what the fuck we were trying to do, and he just shut everything down. And I felt like we were doing good, and then it just, again, politics got in the way, and it all just fucking evaporated. And then I left town as well, because like, fuck, I got nothing here then. So off I went. But yeah, that's a little history. Like, I wasn't the person who just went, fuck this place, hope it burns in hell, going to the city. I definitely tried to make it work, but yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah.
I will never, ever, ever, ever leave my area.
Yes, you will.
Never.
Why wouldn't you?
Not too much here, bro.
No, he looks like the kind of guy who lives in Bankstown all his life.
I don't live in Bankstown. I live in the park.
Close enough.
No. No.
Definitely a difference there.
Massive difference.
Massive difference.
I don't know my geography very well.
Connor Park is better.
You mean you lived in Sydney for a while?
Yeah, but I never went out west. Like,
you didn't go out west?
Wait, where did you live in Sydney?
Kensington.
There's a sushi place there that Pez likes. It's not bad, actually.
There's a lot of
Kensington's
sushi places.
a shithole. We're not west. We're southwest.
Okay. Yeah, I was in the east, so I was, fancy.
I remember I had to spend a month in Parramatta.
Oh, yeah.
That's the worst. That's the worst.
And I met the weirdest characters, but also the friendliest characters that I'd ever met. It was just because I was just by myself, just wandering around most of the time. And people were like, yeah, come to this restaurant. Come. I remember just having like steak dinners with completely random strangers who I just met on the street, and then we had a laugh about something and whatever. The only thing was that I couldn't talk about, like, for small talk, they just wanted to talk NRL. I knew nothing.
Oh, no.
Were they doggy supporters or Paris supporters?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even know what that means.
We're Victorian. We don't know NRL.
But you can't say you're Victorian either. If you say you're Victorian or mention AFL, you might as well be dead.
Yes. Oh, yeah, they'll fucking stab you.
Yeah.
No, don't mention AFL around us. It's not a real sport, bro.
I learned that very quickly. It was an interesting experience. So
my only regret of leaving Sydney was that there was this amazing bakery near my house. It was a Jewish bakery, and they would make the most perfect bagels I've ever had in the world. And my ex-partner's mum, because there was a Jewish family, she would always make sure that I would have all of the stuff that I wanted from that bakery on the dinner table. And sometimes I still dream about those bagels, to be honest. the best thing in Sydney. But other than that, I'm glad I left that shithole.
So all of Sydney, and the best thing is bagels.
Yes, dude, these
You know
bagels
what?
were life-changing.
For the last 2 weeks, I've been trying to find a Manoush shop anywhere in fucking South Bank or fucking Docklands, and there's nothing.
Yeah, no, there wouldn't be. No.
Why is there no Manoush place in all of Melbourne?
Oh, in Melbourne, you want them?
Yeah.
What do you think Docklands is?
There's nothing there.
no,
Like the
Sydney
Manoush
has
is the
a-
greatest thing ever. There's like 40 on every street in Sydney,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and there's
you go-
none in South Bank or Docklands.
Well, that's the thing. I like Thai food as well, but I also find that the Thai food in Sydney was much better than it is in Melbourne. And Melbourne has a lot less Thai restaurants, which is kind of annoying. There is a Manoush restaurant I just found in our area, by the way. It's actually in. I'll have to send you the details.
Can I
later,
ask
but
a
it's-
serious question then? All right. So Manoush is everywhere, right? In
Mhm.
Sydney. So why do you want to come to Melbourne and eat the same stuff that's everywhere?
Right?
Bro, do you know what a Manoush is?
No, I don't know.
Okay, a Manoush is a Lebanese pizza. Like it's like an oregano or a meat
Oh
pizza.
yeah,
or a
you've
cheese
told
pizza.
me about this
You-
before.
You have it for breakfast, bro. It's a breakfast.
Yeah, okay, but I'm just saying.
What the fuck am I gonna have for
Come
breakfast?
have some
Cocoa-
Melbourne breakfast.
What, Cocoa Pops
Yeah,
or
have some fucking
pancakes?
Fruit Loops.
No, I want a Manoush. I'm
We
Lebo.
have Avo
Wait.
on toast, though. What is
Yeah,
Melbourne
What?
breakfast?
Abo toast?
Avocado and
Oh, Avo. I thought you said Abo.
oh my
No,
god,
God,
good
no.
lord,
Oh,
fuck
so
me,
where's
Jesus
Aboriginal
Christ.
toast? See, that's a Manoush shop. That looks like trash. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't.
Okay, that's the only Manoush restaurant I could find you.
In all of Melbourne?
You
Wait,
will
how
get
far
what
is
you're
it?
given. That's
Well,
a
let me
Craigie
see.
bird.
You will get what you're given.
That's
You're
not
like,
even close to Melbourne.
I gotta drive 43 minutes
No,
to get a
you're-
Manoush.
You're not.
You like Manoush that bad? There you go.
38 Ks I have
Actually,
to drive.
That's something I will say because Sydney Middle Eastern restaurants usually have pide, like a lot of pide.
Middle
But
Eastern
Melbourne-
food in,
Melbourne
in
restaurants-
Sydney is next level.
Yes,
It's no
but Melbourne
question.
restaurants often don't have pide, which is really weird. There was
They don't
one
have anything.
pide restaurant around here, but the pide they had was shit. So I've just been disappointed my entire time here.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have you know that there's a lot of good food in Melbourne. All right, you just need to go explore.
But is it a pide?
You know what? No, there is cracker restaurants in Melbourne, but the problem is they don't have Manoush.
Well,
That's the biggest
we did.
problem.
Not the
we
biggest
did-
problem.
It is.
We were walking the streets of the CBD the other night, and we walked past a restaurant that I've seen on TikTok a lot, which is a skewer restaurant, like a deep fried skewer restaurant. And it's just you pick some skewers with anything on it, and then they deep fry them for you. And it's like 80 cents for a skewer of like corn or something like that, or like $4 for a skewer of lamb, and it's Chinese. But I was like, oh yeah, let's try this out. Like I've seen it on TikTok. Like I'm so excited. And then Ilati points out on the sign that you have to buy 10 skewers minimum.
This is
Fuck
after
that.
standing in line for 15 minutes.
No,
That's
we're in
just
this
minimum.
You have to buy 10 skewers minimum. If you wanted like 10 meat skewers, you
Let
better
me-
off go fuck yourself.
I need to add a
because
bit of
that's
context to
ridiculous.
this because Shelby, where did you learn about this restaurant again?
TikTok.
And there was an entire line of people going, "Oh, I saw this place on TikTok. Oh, yeah, TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone was
TikTok.
mentioning TikTok
Oh,
around
I
us.
wanted to try this flavor.
Hold
I saw it
on a
TikTok."
damn second.
What, you going to go to
Mama Manoush.
oh no.
Where is this? I found it.
That's in Brunswick.
How far is Brunswick?
That's not too far.
That's not too
That's
bad.
not too far. That is
I
so-
don't trust this place at all. This place looks so far.
Actually, you know what? If you were going to find it anywhere, it's probably Brunswick. Having said that, that apartment that I mentioned earlier, that's in Brunswick Street, Fitzroy. So that's the kind of
Okay, so-
neighborhood.
So where do all the Lebos hang out other than Broadmeadows?
Broadmeadows.
Is that it? So I have
My
to go to
grandmother
Broadmeadows to
just
get a
sold
Manoush.
her house to a bunch of Lebos there.
In Broadmeadows.
Yeah, in
Did she get
Broadmeadows.
robbed?
No, they were actually really nice and they stopped her
Sold.
from getting robbed.
They stopped her from getting robbed.
Yeah, there was a bunch of like hooligans who kept jumping her back fence and like trying to like get into the house. And when they actually in like the selling process, the guy was really nice. He like came over and helped her install security cameras and stuff like that, which obviously they then kept for the house after she left. But they were looking after her and being very sweet. So
Okay.
hopefully, like after they moved in, those like kids jumped the fence and like they maybe like got smacked instead of harassing the little old lady.
Let's hope let's hope that the Lebos did meet them. Can you imagine that? The kids are just like, let's go and get this old lady again!
Yeah, the man
God.
who bought her house, the man who bought her house is very sweet, but he would have put the fear of God into those people.
The fear of Allah.
I was going to say Allah, yeah. You got to get
Yeah.
it right.
I can say it.
But that, yeah,
Fear of Allah.
but yeah, that is the correct area for them. So
See, I'm only finding like actual Lebanese like
There's not much.
proper restaurants.
Yeah,
but I
there's not
can't
much.
find.
There's no like
Manoush
little
shop
Lebanon
is
here.
on-
It's not here.
Bro, what about the Circle Lebanese pizza? Hold on a damn second.
It's like we live very close to what would be considered Little Vietnam. We have a large Vietnamese population near us, and then there's like a few sort of like Chinese population sort of areas, and a lot of it's around at that point in a very long time ago when houses were affordable and like what are now classified as a city were suburbs back then. And they basically invited all their friends and their neighbors and their cousins and everyone to come buy houses because it was so lucrative. And then, over the years, they invite their friends and their friends and their friends, and it becomes a community. But the Melbourne is known for having the second largest Greek community in the world.
Lonsdale Street.
Greek.
Yeah, behind Greece.
There's some really good Greek bakeries on Lonsdale Street.
Yeah, but who wants a Greek bakery when you can go to a Lebanese bakery?
Where are you finding a Lebanese bakery?
I
You can
found one.
barely,
It's called-
bias.
you can barely find some manoush, okay?
I found one. It's called the Circle Lebanese Pizza. I'm seeing how far it is from my apartment. 23 minutes!
Alright, he's adding that to his itinerary.
I mean,
Is
they
adding it
might
to his
Uber Eats to
itinerary?
you. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what I'm checking. Will Uber Eats it? I don't think so, bro. No fucking way. They're not driving fucking 13 Ks. By the time they get to
They
me,
will.
it's going to be hot.
They'll drive that
I mean,
far.
cold.
Fucking oath I will.
Let's see. You reckon?
It's so, I don't know. The stuff you order on Uber Eats, you have no idea how far some of this shit comes from.
I just want to cycle back, by the way. If anyone in Sydney is wondering about that bagel shop that I mentioned,
okay.
it's called Grandma Moses Bakery and Cafe. So if you're ever in Kensington, definitely check it out and get the pumpkin seed bagels.
That
You
sounds
will
very
not regret
Jewish.
it. It's very Jewish, but it's very fantastic. Yeah, best bakeries.
Yeah.
Ladi, they don't deliver, bro.
I'm sorry, bro.
Well, you're gonna have to go there, bro.
They don't
Have
deliver,
some
bro.
Greek. Have some Greek.
No. I'm not Greek, I'm Lebo.
You don't have to eat your nation's food everywhere you go.
No, I have to, bro. It's an insult to my background and culture.
God.
You'll be insulting Zohan if you don't.
Yeah. Oh, bro, I can't
no.
insult. So call me a maniac. Can't be doing that, bro.
You will.
What a callback.
No,
well done.
not
What a
happening.
callback. That's like professional podcast shit there, right?
You're welcome. I'm very good at what I do.
Professional podcast.
You want to host the podcast? You host the podcast.
I cannot believe
She
there is not
muted
a
herself
single
and
man
talked.
or
She
shop.
absolutely failed the podcast immediately after I said you should host the podcast.
Okay, the button didn't work right. Anyway, what I was saying is, I've tried to host the podcast before. Obviously, it didn't go very well, so you need to stay here. Thank you very much.
Oh, I praise you for doing so well, and you fucked up immediately.
You fucked it up, cuz.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
You should stop bullying me because I live here and I live close to the food.
What? What do you mean?
Mm.
What do you mean? I literally I got you
Nice.
after work drinks today.
I already drank one bottle of wine, so
Hells yeah.
Oh, you're gonna get belted tonight, Alani.
probably.
Maybe.
Doesn't take much.
It's
You know
been
what?
a long
Please,
week.
somebody belt me because I can't find the fucking Manoush shop in Melbourne, bro. I'm gonna go open one up. Seriously.
Do it, bro.
I will.
We'll
I
podcast from the Manoush shop.
I was hoping that this podcast would make enough money to open the shop.
We'll write it off as a tax thing or something. Is that how it works? I don't know.
I'm Lebo, but
Is this a
talk to me
business
after the
now?
You got like an
podcast, I
uncle
hope
that
not.
could build it for us and stuff, like
Yeah,
cousin.
fuck it off, my
maybe?
dad, bro. My dad will build it. That's sick, bro. Hey, my dad once went and built a fence, bro. There's like a 80-centimeter gap between the fence line for the lady. It's the funniest thing. There's full photos taken and shit. It's the funniest.
So,
Fucking
I
bludgeons
think we
of it.
should set a challenge, Shelby. We have to find some Manoush and we have to have it for a podcast.
I could probably make it if we get a good recipe.
No.
No,
we have to
no,
go
no,
find
no,
it.
no, 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 no.
You
no.
don't think I could make your manoush?
No, it's different when it's made, and it's different when a dirty,
not-
sweaty Lebo makes it.
Oh
Trust
wow.
Yeah, okay. I'm not
Trust me.
dirty, I'm not sweaty, and I'm
Exactly.
not Lebo, so...
Exactly. It's like, you know, the kebab guy when they sweat and the sweat drops in your kebab
It's
and
like,
it just gives
yeah,
it that
I
taste.
get-
Yeah.
I get kebabs from this guy who he barely speaks English. So he just sort of waves stuff at me, and I kind of nod if I want it or not. And he makes my kebabs and everything. And then he came into my work immediately after I ate there one day, and he's like, he goes, "I follow you for your work." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
It's like that's nice.
Mate, do you need the reason? He's like, "Yeah, I need cockroach bait." Like, what for? He's like, "Shop full of cockroaches."
Oh, no.
Oh no.
What? But I still eat there, so I don't know.
I did have when I worked at Harris Scarf and I was selling stuff to people. A guy came in and he bought like a bunch of knives. He's like, "My restaurant is across the street. You come over, I'll give you free food." Here in a kebab restaurant, I had the best lunch of my life, and it was completely free.
Yes,
so good.
Yeah.
I found the Manoush shop somewhat. They do like the Manoushes, but in pides, so it's close enough.
Oh no,
That's not a Manoush then. It's a pide.
No, it's basically a Manoush, but rather than cutting it in the shape of a pizza, they cut it like horizontal, like a.
So it's easy to eat.
Yeah, so I found, but it's fucking $14, bro. I have to sell my house to buy this in Melbourne.
Yeah,
it's not one thing; it's the next thing.
Well, you know what, Ilati?
Our Manoushes just aren't good enough for him.
We're gonna have a Manoush.
This podcast is the
funny. I searched this. It's actually in Kensington, in Victoria, not Sydney.
Oh wow!
Where is Kensington?
I don't think there's ever been a podcast that has the word Manoush in it more than this one right now.
This is a Manoush podcast.
This is the Manoush podcast. We'll just have Manoush.
Oh, this one's not bad. It's only 5 k's away from where I'm staying.
5 k's.
I mean, I can walk there. Let me see. Walk. 51 minutes. Nah, I'm alright. I'll drive.
I'll
catch an Uber.
You good?
Fucking Uber. Hey, there's gonna be more than fucking $13 for a Manoush then. We're gonna catch an Uber.
I don't understand what your obsession with having to have the Manoush is.
Bro, it's a tradition that mans must have a Manoush.
Okay.
Every day he's not working.
Every day he's not working.
I've never had
Every
this
day
before.
he's not working.
I like this tradition.
That's a good tradition.
What should I have every day that I'm not working?
Not a Manoush, because there's none in fucking Melbourne.
Yeah, okay. Well, I know that. I know that, Vince. That's why I asked, what should I have? That's why I asked.
You're gonna have Fruit Loops. How about that?
Yeah, his equivalent is probably pizza.
Fruit Loops.
You told me to have Fruit Loops.
You suggested the Cocoa Pops was the Melbourne Breakfast.
Ilati's pretty pizza crazy. I'd say pizza.
Pizza, huh?
Yeah, it's close enough to a Manoush.
All right, you heard it here first. Every day I'm not working, I have to have a pizza. It's tradition.
I mean, that's what I'm
every day,
feeling
so
like.
just have it every day.
That's what I'm feeling like after this podcast is pizza time. So.
Pizza time. Pizza time.
Wow, would you look at the clock? It's almost at the end of the podcast. We should get pizza.
Yeah. You just get onto that, will you? Just get that
it's
pizza
crazy.
coming.
Why is there a Greek kebab shop?
What do you mean?
Because the souvlaki is basically a kebab.
Yes.
Yeah, but a Euros is a kebab, but this is called Mykonos kebabs. Why is it not Mykonos Euros?
Look,
Maybe
I'm not going to
Mykonos
lie.
is confused.
It's probably not even a Greek running the place, you know? We're very
It has to be, bro.
multicultural down here, you know?
No, I don't believe a word of that, bro.
What do you mean you don't believe a word of that?
100%. Bro, that's like me opening fucking Fair Income 4 and 20 Aussie meat pies and I'm Lebo working.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like every fish and chip shop down here is run by Asians.
That's racist, mate.
It's not racist.
You know what?
It's true.
Because every fish and chip shop here is run by Asians too.
It's true though. The
Johnny's
best
was
ones
the best,
are.
man. Yeah, Johnny's was the best.
I used to work in a fish and chip shop. I made good fish and chips. I also used to go to the bottle shop next door and grab whatever chocolate bars I could to deep fry in my deep fryer.
There's 3 fish and chip shops within like a distance from where I live, right? And 2 of them are run by hippies or yuppies, right? And they're terrible. They're overpriced and just taste like shit, right? And there's one where you're not even sure if it's fish, but it tastes delicious and it's cheap as fuck and it's run by Asians. It's the best. The absolute best. No, it used to be, when I moved to Melbourne, it was the dirtiest fucking fish and chip shop I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I'm pretty sure the walls, you could touch them and they had fat coated on the walls. Yeah. The food was delicious. It made me sick every time, but it tasted so good. And they used to do like burgers and stuff like that as well. And you can get like a burger and like an egg and bacon burger and stuff. Oh man, it's so good. So cheap. I used to go there and get like snitty burgers for lunch and stuff like that. Oh man. I'm sure I got food poisoning like 50% of the time from this place, but
bro, I went to in Central Coast, there was a kebab shop. I'm like, yeah, I feel like kebab. I want to get one. In Central Coast, there's like fucking 300 people in the entire district, bro. It's fucked. I went there. Oh, I didn't go there, actually. No, I did go there. Wait, yeah, no. I went there, and then my cousins went next door to Chinese. And I walked in. The kebab guy is Aussie guy, blonde hair, blue eyes, like old, fucking short, fat, everything, bro. like fucking Fair Income. He looks at me and goes, hey, go. Hey, go, mate. Okay, good, man. Good, I know. Good, bro. Can I get a kebab? He goes, yeah, sure. What one? I go, beef. He goes, beef kebab. No worries, mate. Coming up, bro. The worst kebab I've ever had in my life. The worst. I was ashamed.
I used to, thank God I don't anymore, but I used to have to travel a lot for work. And it used to mean, like all over Victoria, I'd go like 5 different places every week. And in a country town called Benalla, I don't know, like 3-4 hours sort of on the Hume Highway heading towards Sydney, up there. It's middle of fucking nowhere, right? There's nothing there. Nothing exciting at all. But there was a store that I had to call on, and I was in there, and the town was abuzz. Like, there was so many people around. I'm like, oh, there's something going on? And you go, oh, yeah, a big grand opening. I'm like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, huge event, biggest town seen in months. I'm like, oh, yeah, what is it? He go, kebab shop. You heard of kebabs? I'm like, yeah, I have. I kid you not. There would have been 100 people at this kebab shop fucking thing getting lunch this day. They're like, wow, city food in the country. I felt like I went and got a kebab there, right? I waited 45 minutes for my kebab because it was so busy. It's absolute garbage. It was the worst kebab I ever had in my life. But
oh, no.
They're like, this is the best thing that's ever happened in this town.
Oh, no.
Oh, man, I never felt so privileged in my life. Got back in my car and drove back to Melbourne, I think. But yeah, it was bad. Bad.
I feel like a kebab so bad right now.
Yeah, talking about kebabs makes kebabs.
I'm going to wait till Tuesday because the greatest kebab place in the history of history is in Melbourne.
This town had a McDonald's, a KFC, and then a kebab place and a Thai food place. And everyone was like, oh, the Thai food's really good there. I'm like, it can't be. Like, that's impossible. It's just like, there's no way you could be this tiny little country town and they make good Thai food. Anyway, I went there for lunch because work pays for my lunch. So I'm like, I go somewhere for lunch. Always go somewhere for lunch because I'm getting paid for. I get $45 allowance for lunch when you're on the road. It's fucking
every day?
Every day. And so I went to this place. It was fucking disgusting. So bad. The only place that I found was really good. They have an art gallery there, and it has like a really fancy sort of bourgeois sort of bloody restaurant. And they just make, like fancy rolls and whatever, and like a bakery, stuff like that. That's like the one place that I could go on the regular and get something that tasted like it was from Melbourne, basically. But that was shit because I used to go every Wednesday. I had to go to that town in that area, and I used to get up at 4 a.m. and drive there, spend the whole day there, and then drive back. It's literally leave Melbourne while it's dark, come back while it's dark, and just be exhausted. It was fucking worse. Anyway, someone else's problem now. We sold the store, so we didn't have to deal with it anymore.
Oh, fuck, what a life.
Fucking hated it. Actually, my boss rang me today. Not today, yesterday. He goes, oh, I've got a bit of extra work for you. We need you to go to Hamilton. Like, where the fuck's Hamilton? I'm sure I've been there once before. It's like near the Grampians. Like fucking far west Victoria. It's like a 4 or 5 hour fucking drive. I'm like, no, I don't want it. I don't want to go. It's like, don't make me.
How about no?
Like, no. I googled Hamilton. I'm like, maybe they have something cool there because they want to send me for days. So like, I'd probably have to go and stay there. There's nothing cool there. Nothing there. The best thing about Hamilton is that you could drive out of Hamilton and go to like Great Ocean Road, which isn't far away. That's the best thing about Hamilton. Sorry if anyone's ever listening from Hamilton. No hate, just not for me,
Speaking of Hamilton, I don't know where that is, but I was cutting my hair today at my barber, and I was telling him I'm going to Melbourne. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll go to Melbourne. You got to go to this place. I'm like, yeah, cool. And he told me about some orange bridge. Do you guys know anything about an orange bridge?
What about the orange bridge?
Do you know about it?
I don't
know.
I don't know. Tell me more about it. Maybe we do. I don't know.
He said there's this orange bridge that he loves going to, and he used to go there all the time, and he didn't realize that they have tolls on it, so he kept getting fined going on the bridge, driving on it like back and forth like 10 times a day. But I just want to find out where this bridge is because I want to go there and take a photo.
There's not many bridges that have tolls on it at all.
He said it was orange, so
yeah, it doesn't make any sense. There's no bridge with orange that has tolls.
Really?
So, no. I mean, there's the Balti Bridge and the Westgate Bridge. They're the two major bridges. As you're coming into Melbourne, basically.
I know those ones with the lights and shit.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. We don't have other bridges. What do we have other bridges for? We don't have any water.
No, bro. What's this Westgate Bridge?
Yeah, Westgate Bridge is the big bridge. There's no toll for it though. You just go over it.
That's not orange though.
Not orange, no.
Oh, hold on a second.
Holding.
Is it what's the Bolt Bridge?
Balti Bridge.
Yeah, what's that?
It's so as you're coming into Melbourne, so you come from like Tullamarine, you go over the Balti, and that takes you over into South Melbourne area. And then if you follow it and head to the eastern suburbs, you go through the tunnel, and that's where you pay a toll through the tunnel.
Okay, because I'm looking here, and this is the only bridge I can see that they made orange in 2018. Maybe it's that one.
Maybe. I mean, they've got the cheese sticks as you go to it. Just big.
The cheese sticks.
cheese sticks, man. They're just big yellow sticks sticking out of the ground. Very, very cool art, dude.
Cheese sticks.
Look, I don't make the fucking art, all right? Don't
Why
come
are
at
they
me with
cheese
that tone.
sticks if they're orange? Cheese is yellow.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's the only thing that's even close to the fucking orange.
Why not just be a big orange stick?
There's no
Why are
orange
we being
sticks.
loud?
Because there's
y'all
no
being
orange
loud?
bridge. Now he's at me because cheese is yellow. I mean,
Relax.
Okay, so he also told me about another place in a bus where they make donuts. Is this real?
There's lots of buses that make...
No. Queen Victoria Market donut van.
That's
Is that
churros.
it?
That's churros.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, South Melbourne Market donut van.
South what? South Melbourne.
South Melbourne Market
That would
donut
be
van.
right, yeah.
Me and my parents would make pilgrimages into the city to go and get donuts from this donut van.
I just like to point
Yeah,
out...
that's the one with jam. I
Yeah.
just checked it because he goes, yeah, they put the jam in it and that.
Fucking excellent.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, jam donuts is a tradition here in Melbourne. They particularly at the AFL, the Australian Football League.
I don't know what that word is, bro. What's an ALF?
I just like to point out that we go donuts in a bus. Shelby's like, oh, the bus it's the one at Vic Gardens. Like, no, they're churros because everyone knows that the churros are at Vic Gardens, right? And then you're like South Melbourne, like, yeah, you're right. The jam donuts are at South Melbourne. It's like, how the fuck do we know about the two donut vans in Melbourne? And what donuts they do?
Should I get the donuts or should I get the churros?
You should go to South Melbourne Market. It's quite cool actually. South Melbourne Market's very cool.
Probably a bunch of Lebo shit there for
They
you.
have the South Melbourne Market
shop?
is famous for their dim sims.
I don't eat dim sims.
Well, these dim sims look like they deep fried a cat's head.
Yes.
Another reason I won't eat the dim sims.
I don't touch them. They look
very
like fucking...
big and homemade, and at first they would only sell there for many years, but now they actually do sell to other stores.
Yeah, they
like you
distribute
can get
now.
them fish and chip shops and stuff, and people will pay a premium for these South Melbourne Market dim sims.
Yeah, it's a thing. South Melbourne Market it's cool. It says they do like fresh fish and food and stuff like that, but they also have like knickknacks and stuff like that. They do. I remember last time I went there, they had like a place that had like one-off brewed beers and liquors and stuff like that, and I had a heap of like mountain goat rare breeds and shit there, and I'm like, haha, get that shit for free. I know the guys at Mountain Goat, but it's like
Stop flexing.
no, but it was cool
Yes.
because they didn't like they're limited run things, so then like they had like 30 different types there, but they were like $20 a bottle. Anyway, very cool place, but also I don't know, it depends on where you're at because like South Melbourne's like its own thing. You can only sort of like it's not in the middle of anything. You go into South Melbourne and then you come out of South Melbourne. That's it. It's not like a tram or a train going through it.
I may have found the Manoush shop in South Melbourne. Inside the place, I'm just seeing. It might be called Koi.
The place that
They
is.
do mezzes. Hold on.
Hold on. Holding. Everyone's
After
holding.
Zator. Or Ghana? No. Lahmbajin? No, they do Lahana Dalmasi. I don't
Anyone
know what
else
that
know
is.
what's going on? Or is it
No, okay, this is
I think he's
not.
having a seizure. I think now's a good time to
wrap things up?
wrap
Wrapping
things up.
things up?
All right, we're all going to go get Manoush.
Yes.
Fuck
We're gonna get Manoush.
And bagels and jam donuts.
Manoush.
Yeah,
And kebabs and pizza.
There's actually a jam
Yeah.
donut place that's not far from here. They have like a market. There's a Sunday market that does the jam donuts as well.
Oh, don't
Yeah.
tell me that.
Just what I want, a mobile phone store to go into and mystery shopping.
Anyway, I think that's a good place to sort of call it because I'm not sure what's happened to Vince. I think he did have a stroke, maybe. We'll find out. I'm sure next week's podcast, Vince probably won't be here because he's adventuring, looking for Manoush in Melbourne. But on the following podcast, I'm sure we will have all sorts of shenanigans to talk about. We might even run a poll and just see, will Vince find the Manoush?
That's a good one.
It's a good one, right?
On the count of 3, everyone say inshallah with me. 1, 2, 3, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Coachella?
Hello?
Coachella?
By the
Enchilada?
grace of God.
Enchiladas?
Enchiladas.
You'll have to take some
Hell
pictures.
yeah, I'll have some enchiladas.
Is any of this
Pictures.
offensive to
And
everyone?
Take some pictures and then report back about your findings.
I'm telling you, I'm going to find the best Manoush shop. And if I don't find one, I'm going to open my own one before I leave.
Fucking oath. It'll be the
Do it.
podcast Manoush shop, and wherever we can record podcasts while eating Manoush. Sounds great.
Zombies
Sounds
love.
good.
We changed your name from Zombies Love Bacon to Zombies Love Manoush.
I didn't even know what Manoush was until 20 minutes ago.
Until this podcast.
All right.
I do.
Yes, let's wrap things up here. Make sure you do follow us on the Twitter, ZLB Podcast, or ZombiesLvBacon on the Twitter. I'm sure there'll be all sorts of shenanigans posted there as they happen. Best place to find us. You can like, subscribe, follow, all that sort of stuff. This podcast is on all major platforms, including YouTube and Google Podcasts, Spotify, all of them, every single one of them. So go listen to us multiple times and tell your friends, because we are definitely wanting to get us out there. And Vince, do you want to plug your April Fool's joke? I mean, your music you dropping today?
April Fool's joke. We'll talk about April Fool's joke. No. This ain't no joke, buddy. This is real life. Yeah. All you've got to do is go to Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, Snapchat, Instagram, everything. Every platform available that has music. Type in Molly, don't worry, and listen to Why They Wanna.
There you go. That's it. Absolutely. Shelby, where can people find you?
Shellbunny.com, and especially at the moment I'm going nuts on TikTok, so Shellbunny94 on TikTok if you want tutorials on how to be a little anime lady. So.
TikToking and
TikToking.
Jess, what are you doing these days? What are you doing?
I'm just hanging around. You'll find me in ZombiesLvBacon stream, so just feel free and have a second day.
Around.
I'm just around.
You'll
see me.
Come back for more podcasts. Let's have to come back and
yeah. I should probably start streaming or something one day too.
One day. Why not?
One day.
Anyway, thanks for coming, everybody, and listening to this whole thing. I'm sorry that we went this has been a roller coaster of an episode. We started out with some funny stuff, then it got some dark stuff, and then Vince curb stopped some ScoMo, and then we went into some Manoush territory, and it's been a wild ride. But I can tell you right now that if anyone like me has been listening to this podcast, this conversation, particularly the one for the last 20 minutes, probably pretty hungry. So go grab some food, and yeah. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week. So we'll see you then. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.